Everybody little tapping with the pop with Tigmatic.
Y'all tune into the Pop Podcast. And guess what? There's an episode of me on
and you are tuned into the Pop Podcast.
And with the Pop Podcast with my boy Tigmatic. You hear me? It's going down.
To follow the Pop Podcast with Tigmatic.
That's that number one.
That's that number one.
Louder. Say it louder.
When he was in the streets of Philly, playgrounds, he was like, you know what they call him?
What?
Black Jesus.
American hustler. Tone Trump. West Philly to the world. Let's win. Bunch of shooters with no aim. They just happy to be spraying. They praying that I fell. I'm just happy that they praying. Had a convo with my son. He only 3, but he's so smart. Told him only fear law and stay away from all these marks. Walking through the vibe, I got Versace on. They ain't really one, see the Aki on. I trust the cutter, stay away from suckers. If it ain't the Trumps, it's the forces or the butters. 10 toes down, I'm hustling like you should be. Rich Muslim, know the feds won't book me. And the sprinter talking money with my ox. They tryin' by the bar, I'm tryin' by the block. Real estate, feel the hate. Before the deal, I've been a great. I'm still a great, you still hating. Penthouse suite, OJ and turkey bacon. And I need the grits with the cheese in it. Big boy rollie with the freeze in it. Weird niggas always trying to talk that rap shit. Me and Low in the back talk talking trap shit. West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground. That's where I spend most of my days. The summers is hot, the winters is cold. Welcome to my ghetto. West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground. That's where I spend most of my days. The summers is hot, the winters is cold. Welcome to my ghetto. Mother shit. They kill at will. Fresh Prince to the ghetto, man, I feel like Will. Nitty home, she home, now we just need kill. Inshallah, make dua for the appeal. This ain't a rap song, this is real life. This ain't that rapper jewelry, baby, this is real ice. VVS's, look at the clarity. I'm a Muslim dying, look how they stare at me. Another sock drive, that's for charity. I'm the greatest, stop comparing me. Say a prayer for my Akis and themselves. May Allah have mercy and keep us under him. Say a prayer for my Akis and themselves. May Allah have mercy and keep us out of hell. Say a prayer for my Akis and themselves. May Allah have mercy and keep us out of hell. Say a prayer for my Akis and themselves. May Allah have mercy and keep us out of hell. West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground. That's where I spend most of my days. The summers is hot, the winters is cold. Welcome to my ghetto. West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground. That's where I spend most of my days. The summers is hot, the winters is cold. Welcome to my ghetto.
We coming in from the door, man, on folks them. Y'all already know, cuz. Yeah. I rock all this white like I'm godly. Sushi gon' come with wasabi. Fresh off the steps of the porch. I walk out, get in a Porsche. Know that I'm using the force. Know that I mastered the course. Known as the plug and the source. Haters, they feeling remorse. This for my dogs in court. That's facing the judge and the jury. My brother, he made it in sports. And that's why he rock all that jewelry. She can remember me now. Know that my vision is blurry. I got these racks on me now. Know that the money done carry me. Know that I'm lit in my city. Know that I'm hot. Know that we poppin', man. Everybody chasing that cloud. Running they mouth. Know I really feed the game. We on the beaches and right off the coast. Down here in Florida, we doing the most. The hustle on South Beach is like a LeBron. You call it a pound and we call it a bomb. We at the lick and I'm working with chicken. Shout out my nigga from Memphis, they chicken. For my dog and themselves, know I know that they listening. Yeah, I'm on a new level just like I'm Hendrix. Straight from the gutter, we come from the trenches. We ball on these niggas, they sit on the bench. They using the style and I swear I ain't landed. We pushing the P and the P is for profit. They watching and listening, look how they copy. They hate and respect it, but gotta acknowledge me. Know that a nigga be doing a lot. Know that I'm lit in my city. Know that I'm hot. Know that we poppin', man. Everybody chasing that cloud. Running they mouth. Know I really feed the game.
Yo, what's up, y'all? What's going on out there, world? You are now tuned in to another episode of The podcast with Tigmatic. Listen, it's Wednesday. It's hot out here. It's a heat wave going on. It's so hot outside. It's freezing in the spot right now. We got the studio booming and it's super cold in here because that weather is like 100 degrees still at 9 o'clock. Damn near. So I want y'all to stay hydrated out there. And I hope y'all hydrated out there, doing what y'all need to do to be safe and cool. But listen, we hear y'all once again. We got another episode booming. And as always, this episode is brought to you by, if y'all don't know, Hollywood TV, Hollywood Radio, Hollywood Music, Going In Radio, Dollar Radio, DDS, and the podcast with Tigmatic. We moving and booming. Listen, we here, y'all. 150. We booming. But listen, my guest is here today. She's dope. She's dope. So listen, I came across this person by listening to Hollywood Radio. I was on Hollywood Radio, New Music Mondays, and I came across her music, and I was feeling it. You know, she on the west side, you know what I'm saying? So she got that west sound, and she a youngin', and she going in. She's very talented. I like it. So it was only right that I brought her on. And y'all know it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, but y'all already know I'm highlighting the women that help the men along the way. And, you know, she got folks that help her, but she's still booming. And I wanted to bring her on, you know what I'm saying? So without further ado, I give y'all the talented, the dope, the one, the only, Ella Cartiā. What's going on?
What's up? What's up? What's happening?
What's happening?
How y'all doing?
Welcome to the podcast with Tigmatic.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so listen, I like to let my guests do their thing and introduce themselves to my audience, you know, for those that don't know you or haven't heard of you. So the floor is yours, Queen.
All right. Well, it's Ella Cartiā. Cartiā stands for Creatively Accomplishing Remarkable Things in Action. It's in my name. I do it every day. And I'm representing South Sudan. South Sudan to the bone. You feel me? And yeah, we just popping.
Oh, man. South Sudan, y'all heard her?
Yes, sir.
She moving and booming, y'all. She's definitely dope. And I wanted to bring her on, you know, so y'all can get acquainted and get to know her. There she goes. She put a little bit of light on her. That's better. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't you tell the people a bit about where you're from? Let's talk about your origin, identity, and first touch of art.
So I'm from...
Hold on, I'm asking the question for him.
Okay.
But here we go. You're originally from, how do you say this, Khartoum?
Khartoum.
Khartoum?
Yes, sir.
South Sudan.
Yeah.
What mental impact has displacement or migration had on your life and sense of self?
I came here very young. So for me, I came and I grew up here, and then I had to like start learning more about back home.
Okay.
And like about where I'm from and what goes on there, because I came here when I was like 2. So it was like I had to relearn.
Okay. That's what's up. So tell me a bit about where you from, where you at, you in the States now, so where you at now? Tell the people now.
I'm at Colorado. I'm in the Box State. Okay.
You're in Colorado. So tell me what growing up in Colorado was like for you.
Growing up out here, it was nice. Honestly, I love being in Colorado. It's a very tourist state. It's very beautiful. So growing out here, I just got to like just learn more about myself and just learn about my environment and my surroundings.
Okay. So what's the surroundings like a little bit? Like break it down a bit.
Well, see, I grew up like kind of the burbs, kind of sorta. So I went to like a lot of schools where I was kind of like one of five black kids. So it was kind of like I was coming in there different, but it was like I didn't treat anybody else different. So it kind
Mhm.
of it still worked out in a way.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. So, what was your first memory of using creativity to escape or express emotion?
Art class. I love painting and I love drawing. So learning that I
Okay.
had that skill was a beautiful thing because then I got to just dive more into it.
Oh, that's what's up. So you was one of the ones you was getting into it on the art side. So can you draw?
Yes.
Oh, very artistic. Okay. So what are some things you like to? You said you do painting now, right?
Yeah, I like to paint, I like to draw, I like to do ceramics, like everything you can include in the topic of art. I've either tried or dibbled and dabbled into it.
Okay. All right. So how did music evolve from a hobby in the middle school to something you learned during adulthood?
In middle school, I kind of played around with it because I always loved music. Like music was my first love. So in middle school, when I was playing around with it, kind of was just like, okay, I want to see if I could do it too. So it was like I got something to say too. Like everybody has something to say in their music. So it was kind of sort of like, okay, let's try this out. And it was like, okay, you're not half as bad. Like, cause
Yeah.
I like to put words together. Like English was one of my favorite classes because I liked how you can put a sentence together or how you can use different words, how you can substitute different things. So for me, I
Right.
was like, okay. And then when I started to get older, it just started to just naturally come to me. Like I'm just waking up freestyling in my head or I'm just writing. I'm just coming up with stuff on the whim and it's like, ooh, that's spiffy, that's creative. So it was like, yeah, I just was like, okay, like let's take the part of it being art and also putting your reality into it of your life and then putting those two together makes a beautiful masterpiece.
I agree. Once you know what you want to do and how you want to put it together, it definitely creates a beautiful masterpiece. And I
Most
think you got some joints here. We're gonna get into that in a minute. But
definitely.
we're gonna talk a bit. What was the first time what was what was the first time that you decided to pick up the pen and write some music and get into it? Like I'm curious to know that. And how old are you now?
I'm 27.
Okay. So how old were you when you first picked up the pen and decided to start making music?
13.
Okay. So you had a nice little run.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's tell us about that experience and what it did for you.
Honestly, it just helped me learn more about myself and know like, okay, you're different. Artistically, you're different. So it was like this comes to you naturally. It comes to you organically. So for me, it was like, okay, it's not hard, but also it's not like something you just quickly just whip up together. So it was like taking the patience of I always like pushing my pen. Like freestyling is something I'm like still learning, but writing is something I've always loved to do, like writing poems or like
Mm.
stuff like that. So it all just worked out.
Okay. So was your rap name early on still Cartier?
No.
What was your first rap name?
My first rap name was AZ and it was AEZZI. And it
Okay.
was because my nickname growing up was Amy. So that's like when my family calls me, they all call me Amy. So when I was first picking a name, I was like AZ. Like that's different, but not spelled A and Z. So it was
Yeah.
like,
The rapper AZ was out, so I'm pretty sure that's why you did that.
yeah.
That's what's up. Shout out to AZ. Uh, that's pretty dope. All right. So, was there any trauma or defining moment that made music more than just a hobby?
Um, act yes, because it's just going through life and your trials and tribulations. It's kind of like you can make it through it, but it's still something that ponders on your mind. So it's like if I'm going to tell my story, I could tell it to you just simply telling you, okay, well, I went through this. Or I can kind of word it a different way, put it in my music, and the people that get it, they get it.
Right. So for you, what was that moment?
It was a lot because growing up, it was kind of just like it was rough a little bit. So for me, it was kind of like that was my only way of just being able to speak freely.
Okay. So early on, you was having a little trouble with having that independence and being heard,
That
and the
independence,
music.
being heard, confidence, just being able to just be me. It was kind of like I was timid to do that, but it was like music gave me a way of being myself.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. You know, it's definitely good to have music as an outlet because for some it can be therapy. You know, and
For sure.
when we do music, we're not just doing it to gain fans. We're doing it to be expressive. And hopefully, when you're making music, somebody out there can relate to what you're doing. So I
True.
get that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's pretty dope within itself. All right. So, how did music? I'm not going to ask that yet. I'm gonna save that question.
Okay.
What did Mind You represent for you emotionally or mentally when you released it in 2020?
Mind You represented me being able to just pop my shit.
Oh,
And to
keep it clean.
elaborate
Keep
on
it
that,
clean. Keep it clean.
oh, sorry, pop my stuff. I apologize. But basically, when I wrote Mind You, I was angry. Because for me, it was like I felt like a lot of people was playing with me, or a lot of people was like trying to punk me, or they just didn't think that I could like stand up for myself, or like just be confident. Because like I said, I was always timid. I was the one that was in the shadows. So it was like for me, it was like, okay, mind you, I'm that and I'm better. So it's like I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to myself. Mind you, I'm that and I'm better. Like it was uplifting.
Right. Okay. So it's a good thing that you chose to, do it your way. You know, it's a good thing that you chose to, believe in yourself, keep that faith in yourself, because a lot of the times it can be hard, when we go through things. So for you to do it the way you did, I think that's awesome within itself. And I think that, you're not afraid to be courageous. And for some people do have issues with that. Um, so what was growing up? So let's talk a bit more about growing up. Who was the one that discovered your talent, and who was the one that pushed you to go ahead and do your thing musically?
So growing up, it was kind of like me, myself, and I until the Mind You record came around. So when the Mind You record came around, I had just got off work one day. I was working at Smashburger, and I was like, and I just started writing. Like it just came to me naturally. I just started writing. And then I'm like halfway into the song and I'm like, okay, this is just how I feel. I just felt like I just needed to write it down. But okay, cool. So I kind of sat on it for a few months, and then I actually met up with a local producer. He's also South Sudanese. Shout out Levi Juni. I met up with him and I kind of just spit it to him, and I was like, I need to do something with this, but I don't know where to go. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And so I kind of spit it, and he was like, okay, well, here, I have an engineer. I'll give you his number. Go ahead, holla at him, do what you got to do. You feel me? Because you got something that has potential. And it didn't have no beat, it didn't have nothing. So after that, I went to the engineer, I spit it, we made the beat from scratch, and it was history from there. Shout out Yemi.
Okay, that's what's up. That's definitely what's up. All right. So let's talk about what kind of conversations do you have before you step on stage?
I pray. I just pray for the how would I word it? I pray just to be able to do it without being scared and just let go, kind of sort of, because we all get those little nervous shakes before we go on stage, and it's like everybody gets nervous. So for me, I just pray for me to be able to just let the nerves go away and just flow, and honestly, just give my heart on that stage and leave my heart on the stage every time.
Yeah. Okay. So what would you say as far as performance? What type of performer are you? Are you an energy performer? Are you a laid back performer?
I feel like
what would you say?
I'm an energetic and an animated performer.
Okay, so you turn up on them. Once
For
that music hit, you turn up.
For sure.
Oh, that's what's up. That's definitely what's up. All right. What does creatively accomplishing remarkable things in action mean to you mentally and spiritually when times get hard?
For me, it means to keep going. Like, you're gonna hit road bumps, you're gonna hit steep hills, you might fall, but you still gotta just keep up and keep doing it in the moment, in real time, in action, and do it your way, your creative way. And you're always gonna accomplish it if you're doing it your way and you're putting your best foot forward and you're putting your heart into it.
That's right. And putting your best foot forward is definitely a way to, get to where you're trying to go. A lot of us, and I talk about this a lot on the show, but one of the greatest things a person can do, especially in music, is just to keep working, whether you get to where you're trying to go or not. Because before you get to where you're trying to go, you still got to work.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So you got to keep pushing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I always tell people are like, well, I'm scared. I'm like, either you're going to be scared to do it and never do it, or you're going to do it scared and see just what comes out of it.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's definitely what's up. All right. Here's my next question. All right. How did the pandemic affect your mental health and your approach to music creation?
It made me just double down and lock in, honestly. That's the only thing I could really do was just double down and lock in. Because it's like, okay, going out in public was like, it was iffy, but it's like, for me, I know I can go to the studio with one, and there's one other person, we're more than 5 feet away from each other, and I can still get my business done.
So you still keeping that separation in the studio, like, oh, I ain't getting COVID.
For sure. And so was my engineer. It was like, we was both on the same page. Like, nah, I could be here, you could be here. We gonna be far apart enough, but like, still got to make sure we're being cautious.
Oh, that's what's up. You got it done. So, if you wanted to say out of all the records you've ever done, what's the best record?
All of them. But okay, I think Baby Bussin'. I think that's one dope record that I got.
Okay, tell me why.
The feature, first off, I have my cousin on it, Breeze. Shout out Breeze. He did his thing, and it was just a fun record. Like, we just had fun in the studio. It didn't feel like it was business or forced. It was just organically fun.
Okay. So you like to have that organic feel when you collab with somebody.
Yeah, I don't want it to feel like it's forced or feel like, no, like, I want us to both have our input, 50-50, and kind of just make it our project. It's not mine or it's not yours, it's ours.
Okay, if you had one person that you could collab with, dream person, who would that be and why?
It would be Lola Brooke, because she coming out from New York and she's small, but she a heavy hitter. And I love the way she spits and her confidence. I'm just like, yeah, I like that.
Okay, that's dope. That's definitely dope. All right. So here's the next one. Solo Dolo Cam for you again.
I'm sorry, one more time?
No, I was saying Solo Dolo Cam for you again.
Okay.
All right. Let me ask. Do you feel pressure being a woman of African heritage, navigating American music and culture?
Most definitely.
Okay, break that down, what that's like for you.
I feel like it's challenging because I'm still coming into a league where this is not what we do when we're back home. So it's like I'm adapting to the environment here in America, but also I'm kind of commending inspired me as part of my story as somebody who's still not from here. It's
You
still
ain't had to
like the
turn your
music is
camera
still the
off.
music I grew up on, the music that me and my family listened to.
Yeah.
Maybe even before we even understood the words, it was still
Right.
something that is still vital to us.
Okay. You ain't had to turn your camera off. The solo cam was just, like how I've been, that's editing. Yeah. Solo dolo cam just means just you by yourself on the camera. I didn't mean to confuse you with that. My apologies. All right.
You're okay.
But I can imagine what that's like for you, trying to understand it, but then getting hit to it. And from the sound that you create, it sounds like you figured it out. How long did it take for you to figure it out?
It really didn't take long, because one thing about me is I'm an observer. So it's like I'll observe and I'll have the intent to want to learn and understand. It came with that mentality. So that helped already within, because it was like it's new, but it's something that I'm willing to learn. And I want, like, it interests me, it intrigues me. It entertains me.
That's cool. I think it's pretty cool that, you're a fast learner too, So who were some greats that you studied? Break it down. Tell the people. You know what I mean? They want to know what's in the mind of Cartiā. Who was Cartiā listening to that made her want to pick that pen up and go in?
Some of the people that I was listening to was like MC Lyte, Queen Latifah, Lil Kim, Nicki Minaj, of course. She had a good run, still running. And then some like guys that inspired me, like Nelly. The way Nelly, he tackled music a whole different way, and he had every genre and still did it his way. And it was like, I really liked that. It was really, really dope. And like DMX, his confidence and just his demeanor, it was like, yeah, the list could go on, but that's definitely top few.
Okay. It sounded like you really was listening to the greats and you studied the greats
Most definitely.
to really get the real emphasis of what the hip hop culture was over here. So that's dope. I commend you for that. That's to be respected. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out to you, you know what I'm saying? Doing your homework and respecting the craft.
You gotta do it the right way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real, because we keep it funky on Hollywood TV and Going There Radio and Dollar Radio. So I'm gonna keep it funky. Yo, a lot of these people pick up the pen without doing no homework. And that's why the music be sounding trash. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
So for you to pick the pen up, and I like your sound. You already know how I was last week when you was on the joint. You heard us. I literally shouted you out live on the air like, yo, I'm trying, you know what I'm saying? Let's link.
No, for sure. I definitely appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate the love back on the fraud record as well.
Nah, you went crazy.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I do a little song, you know what I'm saying?
No.
I know when. All right, so here's the next question. All right. Has performing brought you healing, or do you find it emotionally exhausting sometimes?
I find it healing, honestly, because it's like my own escape, but it's reality at the same time. Because it's like I get to escape just everything in my mind and just focus on just delivering a great performance. And like I said, leaving my heart on the stage. That's the only thing. And that pushes me more than people know. Because it's like when I bring entertainment to people and they enjoy it, I enjoy what I'm doing even more.
Okay, that's what's up. So I heard you got some visuals brewing. You care to tell the people a bit about that?
I do. I actually have my Mind You visual that's about to come out here in the next week or two. And they've been waiting for that one for 4 years. So I was like, yeah, I got to give it to y'all. It's about time.
Okay. Listen, folks, sometimes it takes a while to build traction for a record, too. I want y'all to understand that. Honestly, I got a record called I Know, and it took a few years before that record started getting hot. And now it's hot. People feeling it. So the wait sometimes is definitely necessary, and it'll be appreciated when the person drops something. So where you doing this video at?
I already did it. I actually shot it in Civic Center Park down here, downtown Denver. It was about a month and a half ago.
Okay.
I brought the beautiful ladies out, and we did our thing.
Y'all turned up one time, huh?
You feel me? That's all I do that best. Okay, that's what I do best.
That's what's up. Cardi be talking her talk. She talk heavy, y'all. And when y'all hear her musically, matter of fact, we about to get into that. So while we do that, you know, I'm about to bring something in here right now for them to hear.
All right, let's go.
We're gonna play a record. Let's get into it. I'm going to play old school first.
All right.
So here it is, y'all. Cartiā, old school. We have Hollywood TV. It already played there, but Hollywood TV, Hollywood Radio, Hollywood Music, Dollar Radio, Going In Radio. New music. Let's get it. Okay.
I think we just gonna write a love song. Yeah? Okay. Baby, how you doing? Said it's nice to meet you. I can see it in your eyes. I look good as pizza. I can feel it in your vibe. You wanna be in Ibiza. Sipping tails by the beach, holding me with your feet up. Beat up. Tell me how you feeling, baby. Squeeze up. Said I really like you. This the whole thing. Fuck the teaser. Wanna be a lady, but then after, baby, beat it up. Said I wanna learn. I'll be the student. You the teacher. Gained a couple lessons, nice and slow, played out the speaker. Legs behind my head, you about to what? Oh, baby, speak up.
Whoa.
Oh, baby, speak up. Said, baby, it's been a while, or maybe just a stitch. Been trying to get your attention, been throwing subtle hints. I wanna spark a combo, show you just what it is. I'm queen in a pursuit, twisted with little wrists. Said, baby, it's been a while, or maybe just a stitch. Been trying to get your attention, been throwing subtle hints. I wanna spark a combo, show you just what it is. Show you just what it is. I've been eating good, you bitches are delicious. I'm gonna be a wife, you're gonna be a mistress. Fucking on a bum, homie can't even lick this, cause mama's on a roll. Niggas ain't on my wish list. Kiss you hoes goodnight, cause only big dog gon' get this. I'm gonna pop some shit, I'm sure you don't wanna miss this. I always do my thing, God is my only witness. I'm standing up for sure, I'm always gonna handle business. Say what? You heard that from who? Go hear it again, and I'm on your ass too. You got better luck paying me in Blue's Clues. I'm a funny motherfucker, shout out to Bruce. While we're on the subject, you're whack, but who knew Cartier? She's so fly, fine thing like new. She's so cold, she's so fly. Baby boo, just be mine. Say, baby's been a while, or maybe just a stitch. Been trying to get your attention, been throwing subtle hints. I wanna spark a combo, show you just what it is. I'm queen in a pursuit, twisted with little wrists. Say, baby's been a while, or maybe just a stitch. Been trying to get your attention, been throwing subtle hints. I wanna spark a combo, show you just what it is. Show you just what it is. It must be jelly cause jam don't shake. And it must be my birthday cause I want that cake.
Hey, okay. You definitely got that West Coast sound. You know what I'm saying? And you definitely got some wordplay going on here.
For sure.
You know, I'm listening. You got some wordplay going on. I like that. That's a dope record. So where was your mindset? Well, I can hear where your mindset, but break it down to the people who produced this record and how did that record come about?
All right. So the actual record was produced by Levi Juni. It was engineered by Yemi. And the song, I made it actually about my current boyfriend before we got together. And so it was kind of like I just went in the booth and I was like, this is really what's been on my mind. And even when I went in the booth, like I had like 20 minutes left on my session. And I was like, I can spit this whole song in the next 20 minutes. And I went 15 minutes, I was done. And it just organically came out. It was just organic. I didn't even have to like a couple more takes. Nah, like the one run, and I was cool. And I was like, okay, because it was like that's how I was feeling.
Yeah, that was a fire record. I like it.
Thank
you. You definitely got that West Coast sound. You know how to move. And that sound, being as though you on the West Coast, you on the top, the upper West, but you still West. You know what I mean? Everybody think West Coast is only Cali, but nah. A lot of people, that's what people, think of when you hear West Coast, but it's not just one part of the West Coast. Yeah. But that's a dope record. I like it.
Thank you.
All right. So we're going to get into it. Let's talk the stage and the South.
All right.
You've done over 20 shows since April 2024.
Yes, sir.
Has that pace affected your mental health and well-being?
Not at all.
Okay. Why would you say no?
Because for me, I was already ready and prepared. I already knew what I was getting into when I did my first show. Because my mentality was when I hit my first show was this is gonna be one down, million to go, and it's like we gonna get consistent. It was like I'm gonna start getting consistent. I'm gonna start putting myself out there. Like this one time we're gonna do this more times. I was already telling myself that. I didn't know how, I didn't know when, but I knew I was gonna be ready because I've been ready. I've been waiting for this moment. So it's like now that the moment has come, it's like okay, I'm on and I'm not getting off.
Yeah, that's dope. And that's real though, because when you performing, one down and one to go is a great more to go. One down, more to go, excuse me. It's definitely a great mentality to have because that means you envision yourself doing this a lot. So keep that mentality as you go along because I think that's pretty dope.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So how do you protect your peace while in the performance grind?
For me, when I'm like performing or I'm at a show, that's Ella Cartiā. That's the socialite. Ella is I'm Bonnie Bandit in the crib. I don't really I like to be isolated by myself, and I'm like, but when I'm Ella Cartiā, it's like okay, I'm a character in a way. So now it's like I gotta be that when I'm outside, because it's like I bring my normal energy, but it's like I have to also be social. I have to be able to put myself out there because if I stay in the shadows, who's gonna see me? I have to give you something to look at. I have to give you energy for you to be like, okay, I got to give you something. I can't, you know what I mean? So that's for me. It's like that's how I work out, like performing or being at shows, and that's the balance that I have. Because when I'm at the house, that's a whole different person than when I'm at my shows. Because when I'm at my shows, I'm turning it up. That's all I can do is turn it up. But it's like when I'm at okay, I could chill. I could be a little bit more mellow.
So who was that person? I'm gonna bring this question back. Who was the person that said to you, you got it, go out there and do what it do? Who was that person for you?
That was actually my producer.
Okay, just the producer? What about your parents? How do they feel about you doing music?
For them, it's kind of like it's a hobby until it gets serious, then they get serious. I feel like that's how African parents work. It's kind of like you're doing something, but it's like they only take it serious as you take it. So it's like at first they might be like the first few times, okay, it's a little something a little fun, but it's like, okay, once you're consistent and that's really something you're doing every week, you got something going on. It's like, oh, this is real. So it's like, oh, now I'm taking it as serious as they're taking it, as my child is taking it now.
Oh, that's dope. So they support you, right?
Yes, my mom definitely supports me.
Okay. And how does dad feel? Did dad support?
He's actually he's not in the picture.
Okay. Okay. I understand. All right. So it's good that you got that support, you know. Support is definitely important, and having that support can go a long way. So the fact that your mom supports you and she there pushing you along, that means don't stop. You got something. And I'm telling you now, you definitely got something with that sound you got. It's definitely fire. And I like it.
Thank you. And I got a lot of this like came also from my mom, because when she first came out here, she did modeling, and then she was a promoter for a lot of like South Sudanese artists. So it's kind of like she already was dibbling and dabbling in the fashion, in the music, and I was just, as I grew up, I seen it, and that also inspired me too. So it's like she definitely supports, because it's like that was something she did just on a different tip.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up. So you ever think about doing that same thing?
Well, yes, but for me, I want to be the artist. I could be the promoter, or I can be the manager. I could wear multiple hats, but as of right now, I want to focus on just being an artist and get that
Okay.
down pat first.
Okay. So is there ever a fear of not being on or delivering enough for the crowd?
No, because like I said, when I go up there, I know I'm always going to put my best foot forward for my supporters, for the people that are there to support me. So it's like, even if it's an off day, it's like, but I'm going to give my best energy regardless. Because it's like, at the end of the day, that's what you guys came here for, to support me in my journey. So the best thing I could do is give you guys the best I can.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. All right. So after the high of a great show, have you ever experienced a crash or experienced a crash emotionally or mentally? I'm sorry, I'm a little parched. I need to drink something.
For me, no, not really. For me, after I get a high, it's just like it'll stick with me. Not even like for a couple hours. It'll be like for a day or two. Like, so for me, it's kind of like, okay, it's like, okay, like that was nice. Okay, I'm ready. Let's do it again. And then let's do it again.
So you haven't had a moment where you experienced burnout yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. Pace yourself. I'm gonna tell you that now, because listen, once the visuals drop and then you start doing more and more, you at 20 already. At some point, you're gonna experience it. I'm gonna say keep yourself hydrated, stay healthy, exercise, and eat right. You know what I'm saying? Because then that's the way you can stay in your bag all the time.
For sure.
You know? And you be in your duffel. So I'll be seeing you be in your duffel. So stay in your duffel, but make sure you take care of your mental and take care of your body.
No, most definitely, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
All right. So how do you deal with performance anxiety or expectations before a big event like the Roxy?
For me, I feel like the performance anxiety, it'll happen every show for me. Every show it happens for me. But I just always I just gotta give myself positive affirmations, because it's like you can always get in your head. You're gonna be your biggest critique, but it's always like, just keep telling yourself positive things. You got this. You got this far. You know what I mean? It's like, just keep going. Like, you wouldn't be here if you're not doing something right. It's like you got to keep feeding yourself these positive things to keep yourself uplifted.
That's a fact. That's definitely a fact. So, what inspired you to write Big Mama Ish?
So when I wrote Big Mama Ish, it's exactly the name of it. It was Big Mama Ish. It was that's what I'm giving. That's what I feel like I'm serving up to y'all. So it was like, yeah, I'm popping Big Mama Ish. You feel me? Because it's like, who gonna stop me? Who gonna tell me? Nobody. You know, I'm doing it.
That's a fact. Y'all hear her? She talk heavy. And that's what's needed as an artist, confidence. So I commend you for that confidence. Keep that confidence. But we also going to get into it. We about to play that right now.
Let's do it.
All right, y'all. Let's get into it. Cartiā, Big Mama Ish.
It's Ella Cartiā. It's Big Mama, huh? This shit talker. Fuck with me. Papa said he love me and he love this big ol' cat. Bend me over, touch my toes. Big Mama like it like that. I make it wiggle, big ol' tickle. And this ass is super fat. I roll the wood, he lay the pipe, and we run it right back. You piss me off, come lick me off. I'm mad as shit. I'm in the mouth, but give me kiss, yeah, in the mouth. Now make it French, but in the south. Big planet apes, gorilla snap, banana clips. My niggas house. I'm on your ass, I'm finna pout. Your sad ass life, a pissy route, a pissy bitch, a pissy trout, a messy hoe. The door you're out, how you ain't in. Let's talk about the baddest bitch, mouth golded out. I come in trials, the golden spout, fucking with me, the golden round. You not on shit, just wrong and loud. Here goes a kiss, Big Mama's proud. Papa said he love me and he love this big ol' cat. Bend me over, touch my toes, Big Mama like it like that. I make it wiggle, big ol' tickle. When this ass is super fat, I roll the wood, he lay the pipe, and we run it right back. A princess in the trenches with a killer in a ski. Don't fuck around with mine, you just fucked around with me. Let the toolie go to work, swear I'm blind and I can't see. How a mouse just hit a trap, or how the clip just did a deed, or how your man was leaking out, or how OG was hella pleased, or how I just prepared around, or how I did it with such ease. A pretty girl for show at home, Big Mama stand up to these thieves, and I'm a joke, what's up the scope? Bitch, you're a joke, you kidding me? With these, you know I kill the beat, he killed the cat, I eat the meat, I swallow that, a meet and greet, a sweetie treat, just you and me. Ooh, I'm Big Mama, huh? Big shit talker, I'm in the lanes, I said I want him back, I set the car up, Professor Ogilvy, hey baby boo, call me Miss Parker. Y'all want a crumb, I want the whole estate, homemade rich talker. Ain't got a dick, but I could take your chick, but I don't bother. She get that look, oh boy, you out of luck, I'll find another. Big Mama shit, big old no llama shit, ain't no imposter. A nasty girl, a nasty attitude, oh yeah, you starstruck. I caught you up and then I mopped you up, taste just like pasta. I want to buy, or maybe 1 and 9, my man said all up to you, baby. He said it's all up to you, baby. And Big Mama, huh? This shit talker. Fuck.
Yo, you be talking heavy. This was definitely a sexually subjective track, y'all. But listen, it's art. You know, don't take it too close to heart. But you definitely got the flow on that, John. And it's one of them ones, that's one of them fun records you could play for the ladies. The ladies, that was for the ladies.
For sure.
Yeah, that definitely was for the ladies.
That one was for the big mamas. That was for the big mamas in the house.
Yeah, that was definitely one of them ones for the ladies, you know what I'm saying? But the flow was bananas, I heard it. And the breath control was on the beam. Yeah, I can hear it. That's what's up.
Thank you.
That's what's up. So, when you did old school, what emotions were you processing when writing it?
When I was making old school, the emotions I was processing was like romance and love and like being vulnerable. Because it's like, for me, it's like I pop heavy stuff. Like, you know, I'm popping it. But it's like, it was different for me to actually make a record where I'm being vulnerable and putting my feelings into it. Of like actually something currently going on, not something from the past, like something in real time.
Right. Okay. All right. I like that record though.
Thank you.
So when creating visuals like Daddy Dollars, do you use it as a form of therapy?
For me, it's like when I make visuals, I look at it from a director's point of view. So it's like I'm trying to narrate a story. I'm trying to narrate a feeling or narrate a theme. So for me, when I look at my visuals, it's like, okay, how did the record come about, and then how did they make me feel? Does it make me feel like I could play this at a pool party? Does it make me feel like I could play this at a strip club? Can I play this at the pool hall? It's like, it depends on, I have to categorize it that way to me, and then I present it to everybody else. So like Daddy Dollars, the theme for that music video was, it was pool party. So it was a pool party, and it was like, most people would think, okay, Daddy Dollars, it was like, oh, there's money flying around. No, there was drinks, there was girls, like it was vibes, and it's like, okay, that's the energy that I was wanting to showcase.
Okay. Hey, it's the party. It's a party.
Yes.
That's the vibe you created. You know what I mean? For sure. Yeah. All right. So, do you journal or meditate as part of your creative process?
I like to journal. For me, I just like to write. It's like I could be happy, sad.
Right. Kind of like throws up there.
It's like you could write in your notes, but writing actually, like, realistically, it's different, because it's like it's kind of pouring out of you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
No, you had froze up. It sped up and caught up, so it's all good. But the writing is definitely like that, like a journal for some. And for me, when I write, I like to when I write, I'm gonna toot my own horn on that. I'm a freestyle ball. But but I do write, and when I write, being expressive with my thoughts helps me let the pen run wild. If you catch my drift. I like to just let my thoughts go. Like you just said, let the thoughts go and just get it going. So I can relate to that.
Because a lot of times you can't talk to people, but you could talk to the paper, and the paper gonna
That's
listen.
a fact. Right, the paper not going to talk back.
Exactly. So listen, all it's got is ears for you.
That's a fact. I like that. I like how you put that. That's dope. All right. Here we go. Here's the next one. What does your creative environment look like when you're trying to get centered?
Well, like, my creative environment, most of the times where I make music is either at the studio or in my room. And like, my room is it gives very feng shui. Have like a lot of curtains everywhere and art. And it's like, it's very colorful. Because I like my space to be very colorful, and it's like, I like to be very loud. So that's the best way like I can explain my creative space, is like my room. And it's like, I like everything just be loud.
Hey, listen, I understand. And listen, I'm going to say this. You might laugh at this, but you probably can relate. Us dark-skinned people like bright colors.
You feel me?
It's a fact, though.
It is.
Listen, it is what it is. It exfoliates with our skin.
Type.
All right. I just wanted to joke around a bit with you. But which one of your songs is most personal to you, and why?
Well, currently it would be Old School. I feel like that's the closest one that would be personal, because that's the one that I was most vulnerable on out of all the records I have out so far.
Okay. So why?
Because it was something different for me. I'm not used to. It's like, I'm used to trying to put a guard up. So it's like, I'm gonna put a guard for myself and put like a guard around my heart, and I'm gonna like guard up. But it was kind of like, for Old School, it's kind of like I let all my guards down for that record, and it was kind of like I was very open.
Okay. It's a good thing that you was, though, because that's a fire record.
Thank you.
All right. Which one of your songs is most personal to your mental health story, though? Would you still say Old School or Hot Topic?
I would say Hot Topic, because for me it was kind of just like, I'm a hot topic, but it wasn't at that moment. It wasn't for good reason. It was kind of like, I'm a hot topic because of gossip in a way, or I'm a hot topic because of not being as accessible as everybody else. So it was kind of like, for me, it was like, I'm a hot topic, but it was like, I spoke it in a positive way, but it was coming from negative light, if that makes sense.
So how do you deal with that in those moments? Like, how do you deal with that type of those type of things, like, you know, gossip or emotions about the gossip or anything like that? How do you deal with that mentally?
I don't. That's how the best way I could put it. I don't, because I kind of like, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. You feel me? At that, I can't correct it, nor can I change it. And also, for me to even try to defend or speak on it, it's kind of like, a person's gonna think the way they want to think about you, regardless what you're gonna say. So
That's
it's kind of like entertaining gossip is kind of useless, because they don't even want to hear your side at the end of the day. You know, it's kind of like they just want to run with the story. So I'm gonna let them, because at the end of the day, it's kind of like, my people know who I am, and I know who I am. So that's all that matters.
Right. Why worry about what a hater got to say?
If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping.
That's a fact. And we definitely got haters over here. I like your vibe. You definitely energetic. You be turned. I like that.
Thank you.
All right. So how did your interview at Hollywood, how did that happen? Break that down a bit.
It was dope. It was actually my first time doing something like that. So it was definitely really dope, and it was fun. I lost my shoes, but the fit still worked out. The fit still worked out. But it was fun. It was different, but it was a very open and like inviting environment. So it was like, I felt comfortable very easily, because it was like, everybody was just so cool.
That's what's up. Shout out to my guys at the station. Calvin, you moving and booming, baby.
Hollywood.
Yeah, we here. And folks, if y'all don't know, this show is on Hollywood Radio, Hollywood TV, Hollywood Music. We here. Literally. I'm on there right now while y'all watching me live right here. So y'all can go on there now and watch an episode too if y'all want. I just want to throw that out there. Okay. So, which one of your songs would you say created pressure for you that matches industry trends, even in your heart, even when your heart isn't in it?
Repeat the question one more time.
What song would you say, or was there any pressure with any songs that you made that matches industry trends, even if your heart isn't in it?
I feel like no, because I feel like the way I make my music, I don't base it off of like trends or what's hot. I just base it off of how I feel. And 9 times out of 10, the way I write is, I write first, and most of my beats are made to what I write. So it's like, my beats are made to the cadence that I give my engineer when I finish writing what I got.
Talk, Cardi.
You feel
she get custom beats. Y'all hear that? She ain't going to YouTube looking for the bust down on the YouTube, and then you gotta contact the YouTube boy like, yo, I need this song. No, she getting them made right then and there according to what she write. And that's what a real artist do. I have that same thing. I make beats myself, so I do, you know.
Yeah.
I don't need to do that, but she out here stunting on y'all. For those that be YouTubing it, she's very professional. She's telling y'all. So take that gem right there, yo. That's dope. That's dope.
Thank you.
All right. Do you write when you're in pain? Or do you wait until you're healed from something to write about it?
I feel like I like to wait till I'm healed from something to write about it because I want to talk about the full story instead of talking about a part of it. I want to be able to talk about a story from start to finish.
Okay. Okay. So what does that do for you when you do it that way?
For me, it just helps me as an artist because that's just my process that works best for me. Because it's kind of like in the moment, just like emotions. In the moment, things change. And it's like sometimes you'll get different information according to different situations that you never knew in the moment. So it's like once you get the full scope of something, then you can talk about it because you've got all the information that you need.
Right. Right. I can understand that. All right. What does the phrase musical medicine mean to you?
Musical medicine is just music for the soul, honestly and truly. And I feel like the type or genre of music can differentiate from everybody. But music is medicine because it heals you. And sometimes it heals you in a way that people can't, your family can't, your friends can't. It does something different.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. You know, God is the ultimate healer, but sometimes music can get you through in a rough situation. You know, music is definitely therapy for me. When I'm going through something, I definitely, feel like I want to put it through the wire. And it's a great way to get things off your chest, like you was just saying, like if you got some anger, put it through the wire. You got some stress, put it through the wire. You got anxiety, depression, put it through the wire, And I like your mentality as far as waiting until you're healed from a situation, because like you said, you get to tell more of the story. In some cases, a lot of us in a lot of ways, when we going through something right in that moment, we putting it right in the wire, right in the moment. And then you're right. Parts of it is left out because you're not waiting until this whole thing is over with so you can really express it.
Exactly.
Without the view of anger.
Exactly. You could talk about something in the midst of it and be angry, but maybe sometimes you think you were angry, but in real time you were disappointed. It's like maybe you were accessing a different energy than what you actually really felt. You might have thought it was this, but it was that. So it's like that just gives you time to just figure it out for yourself, and then you can figure it out how to tell your story for everyone. So they can either it's people that can relate with your story or however the case may be.
Right. I agree with you 1000% there. So have fans ever told you your music helped them through something? And if so, how did that feel?
Not yet. Not yet. But people have told me like my music it kind of like they'll be like, or they'll tell me like they feel my pain through a record, or they can feel how I felt through that record.
Right. Okay. You mentioned doing only one feature, right?
Yeah.
Is there a reason why you kept your circle tight?
For me, it's kind of like I'm still getting to navigate also the local artists here in Colorado. So it's like I feel like a lot of people want to say it out loud, but talk is cheap. So in the artist world, a lot of people will come to you like, okay, let's work. Yeah, let's do it. Will it actually happen? 6 times out of 10, no. So it's like I kind of go with like people that want to work with me, they will work with me because they genuinely want to. But sometimes word of mouth it happens, and that it just happens in the industry, and that's fine too. But it's like the people that genuinely want to then will make those steps to start making it out of just an idea to make it into an actual project.
I feel you on that, because something you said was key, and that does happen a lot in this industry. It'll be, yeah, man, we gonna work. And then you looking for that person to work with them, and then it never happens. So that does happen. But, That's the key to that is making sure that you're locking in with somebody that's genuine from jump. So that way, if they're genuine, the collaborations can happen. And, you know, it says a good thing about you if people feel like they want to work with you for real anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I think as time progresses in your artistry, you'll get a lot of collaborations.
But
you know
also something for me, I feel like sometimes it might just not be that time. Like it may happen in the future. I'm not saying it will never happen, but I'm saying 50% chance it might not just happen when you want it to, but it might be a month, it might be a week, it might be a year.
It might be 2 years.
It might be like we link back up in a whole different timeline. It's like it'll happen, but sometimes it's like, it's like, let's do this. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, for sure. Let me know. But it was like actually to do it. Sometimes it's people get busy. People got stuff going on. You know, people are working on this. People are working on that. So sometimes it just might not be the time. But it's like for me, it's like there's a lot of artists that I want to work with, and I'm hoping there's a lot of artists that want to work with me. And in due time, I'm pretty sure it'll happen when it needs to.
That's cool. It's definitely real too. So how do you manage relationships, trust, and love while rising in music?
So I take well, first and foremost, when rising in music, I feel like everything is a business relationship until it changes to be personal.
Right.
But everything should start off as a business relationship regardless. Because I'm meeting you as Ella Cartiā, I'm meeting you as an artist. So that means it would mean we're in some type of vicinity where it's business based or it's support or artist based. Either way, it's kind of like everything is business and acquaintance based.
Right. Right. I feel you on that. It should be, you know, a business acumen going on until, you know, you really get to know that person. You know, and a lot of the times when you first meeting up with somebody, you're not sharing a whole bunch of personals and all of that anyway. So it takes time. So as time goes on, it gets to develop to be more. So I agree with you there. All right. How does your family support your career, and how has their opinion affected your mental journey?
So honestly, my family supports me like emotional support. And so for me, that's the best way that it helps me that way, because that's all I need. I just need somebody to believe in me that I can do it, just like I believe in myself. Because I feel like people can support you in all different ways, of course. But the best way for me that I need support is just mentally and emotionally. And I feel like that's what they give me, and that's good enough.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna ask you this this not on my questionnaire. This question I'm gonna ask you. If you had one thing to change that you've done musically, what would that be? And why?
Honestly and truly, nothing. Because I feel like my time is my time for a reason. So I feel like musically, either I've learned from anything that I've made a mistake wise, or it's just helped me become a greater artist at the end of the day. So I feel like anything good, bad, or indifferent still helped me into becoming, even if it was a mess up in the music or something happened with the DJ, it still helped me be like, okay, you can recover. You could still keep spitting when the record goes out. It's like things that might have went wrong just taught me to just how to be a better artist.
What would you say was your best place to perform at, and why?
I think one of my dope performances I ever did, it was a rooftop performance, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell people about it a bit.
It was actually a rooftop performance put on by Callywood. Actually, we talked about it when I was on his show, but it was definitely like one of my first few shows. And that day, I actually had 2 shows in one day. So I went, and it was like that was the highlight because it was something new. I never even been on like a rooftop event. So it was like, imagine performing at a rooftop event. That's even more dope. So it was like, it was really, really fun. It was really, really cool. I met a lot of cool people, and it was just definitely a good step in the door.
That's what's up. So how was the reception from the people?
The reception was great. It was kind of like new face, new energy, different, you know? Like, she's bringing something different. She got a different vibe. Like, her
Right.
energy is unique. And it was like, I appreciated that people can see that from me.
Oh, that's cool. That's definitely cool. So, how do you stay grounded when people around you may not understand your vision?
I understand my vision, so I think that's all that matters. Because I feel like I was the one who understood the vision before anybody else did. So for me, I feel like that's how I've gotten to where I'm at so far. So that's how I'm gonna keep on going, because it's all in the eyes of the beholder. Everybody's gonna see things different, but it's like, that's also the point. Everybody, I want you to take what you take from what makes sense to you in your life out of all my records.
Right. Okay. I think that's authentic. That response was very authentic and very true to self. Okay. What are your boundaries like now compared to when you first started?
They tightened up for sure, because it's kind of like, I'm not playing right now in this moment in my life. It's like I'm really grinding, and I'm really gas, no brakes. So it's like, for me, I don't want nobody who's around me who's playing or thinks that something's a joke, or to belittle my craft or anything like that. It's kind of like, for me, it's kind of like, no, I can't do that, because it's like, I got to keep positivity around me to keep me being uplifted, because negativity is already outside. It's already out there. So it's like, why would I keep that around me when I should be keeping people around me that want to help see me be better, or just want to see me be better, period.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I agree with you there. That was a dope response. So, what's a dream performance to you? Where would you like to perform and why?
I feel like dream performance for me would be like arenas, honestly and truly. And
Is
it's
there
not,
one in specific?
no, just arenas in general, just being able to get to crowds of that capacity. You know, being able to do your craft in front of an audience that big, that knows who you are, that's familiar with what you do. It's like, just being able to grind it out. And it's not even a dream. It's not even impossible. I can't wait till I get to that point, because it's coming. So it's like, I can't wait till I get to the point where I just keep expanding and the support just keeps growing and growing and growing. And
I love your confidence.
we blow it up.
I love your confidence.
Thank you.
Carti said, listen, I'm going to be in arenas. Straight like that.
Yeah. It's like, because you can do anything you put your mind to.
That's
it might
a fact.
be hard. It might be hard, but it's never impossible.
That's a fact. Okay. So are there any mental health routines or habits you practice daily? Break it down. Like,
so daily, I like to pray, number one, because I feel like getting guidance from the man above will help anybody. I like to pray. I like to journal. I like to ride my bike and just be free my mind, listen to my music, and just bump like I'm on stage. But in reality, I'm just outside, just enjoying myself, my time, my craft, and just taking notes on what I can change, what I could do better, what I can do better next time. Because for me, it's always like, it's always a learning curve. So it's like, I'm never gonna stop learning, and I'm never gonna stop being open to learning.
okay. Okay. All right. Do you go to therapy, or have you considered it as a creative, mindful outlet?
I don't go to therapy, no. Have I considered it? Yes, of course. Because I feel like anybody can use therapy. It can be from like your life at home, school. It can be from adult life. Any situation can give you to where you need help and you can talk to somebody about it and be able to be open.
Okay. What does black joy look like in your life today?
Honestly, it just looks like being unapologetically you in 2025 in the USA. Just being yourself, really. It's kind of just like people have to authentically be unapologetically themselves, regardless what people are going to think. Because if you're loud, you might be like, well, I'm too loud. They're going to remember you for being loud. They're going to remember you for being silly. That's what sticks out to them about you. It might be bad or good, but that's not for you to decipher. It's for you just to do what you do. No.
Right. I agree with that. You know, and being unapologetically yourself, you know, means that you're not afraid to be yourself. So great things comes out of being yourself. That means you're not putting on a facade. You're not trying to be someone else. And I encourage everybody to be themselves. And I also encourage us men and the women out here, if you need therapy, don't be afraid to get it. You know what I'm saying? I do therapy myself. It's definitely helped me for many, many years. And it continues to help me. It's a part of growth. So a lot of us, we throw the stigma in our community that, you know, therapy is for the weak, you know, but in reality, it's the opposite. It makes you stronger because you get to look at things from a different perspective. So,
exactly.
You know, that's something that definitely can help along the way. All right. What does rest mean to you in a world that glorifies the grind culture?
Rest means I feel like to me, rest just means taking time to just relax. Because at the end of the day, you can't give people your best if you're not your best. And you're not going to be your best if you don't take care of yourself. So it's like, you got to be able to take a break. You got to be able to sit down, you know, because the grind's still going to be grinding. But are you going to be able to do it if you're tired, if you're mentally exhausted, if you're, burnt out? Take your time to rest up and recharge before you attack something.
Yeah, I feel you on that because I agree with you 1000%. And that goes back to what I was talking about as far as burnout. You have to pace yourself, get rest so you don't experience burnout. You know, and the more that you get rest, the more energetic you are for the crowd, the more you're able to get to the studio, you know, because if you burn yourself out, you won't make it to any appointment that you make as far as the studio. And when you perform, your energy might be a little trash. You know what I'm saying? And to people, they might not notice it, but you'll notice it, you know? So I think that's key. Well, that's one of the biggest elements of doing music, period, is rest. And people going to say, oh, yeah, the grind don't stop, but your body can stop if you don't rest it.
The universe will sit your butt down if you don't. And when the universe hits you down, it's not going to care what you got going on. You're going to sit down because you're just not going to be able to do it. But if you sit down on your own, then you can kind of navigate it on your own time. Because once the universe sits you down on its own, that's you done. You done for a minute.
Yeah. All right. So if you could write a letter to your younger self in middle school, what would it say about healing and growth?
It would have basically told me, like, hard times don't last forever. And if you just keep telling yourself that, you're gonna get through it, and you got through it, and you made it, and you did something that you kept telling yourself as a kid. Because even as a kid, I didn't know that I was gonna do music. I just knew that I was gonna be an entertainer. I just knew that I was really good at entertaining people. So it was like, for me, I would have just told myself, like, keep going, and don't let nobody tell you any different. Because you don't know where you're gonna end up at.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Now, here's where we're going to get a little deep. These questions, it's a little deep. It's a little. So I want to see the mind. I want to hear from Cartier and know how the mind of Cartier thinks in this way. Okay? What's one emotion you wish people would stop hiding?
Sadness.
Okay, elaborate.
I would say sadness because I feel like everybody feels like being vulnerable is weak, or being vulnerable, there's something wrong with it, or people gonna look. No, it's just you being able to express your emotions fully. Just like when you're happy, you can be happy out loud. It's like you should be able to still express yourself out loud, even if it's not a happy emotion, because it needs to go somewhere. Because if you keep it built in inside, it's just gonna ruin you on the inside, and that's just gonna mess you up.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Check Carti out. I agree there, though. You know, sadness is something that, you know, as men, I'll speak on the men, being as though this is mental health awareness month for men. I'll speak on us men for a second. You know, for us, we're told a lot, you know, like you said, it is weak. But for us, we're raised on that. Yo, suck it up. Keep it moving. Keep pushing. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. That's what we're taught as men. You know, just suck it up, keep moving, just take it, you know, but it builds a toll as time goes on. So mentally it can be damaging for some men. Some men know how to balance it, some don't. But sadness is something that men are definitely good at hiding. So I'll keep it real on that. But your answer was definitely dope. So here's the next thing I will say. What's one lie the music industry tells artists about success? You've been grinding for a minute. You've been in this industry for a minute. Moving around.
One thing the industry says, honestly and truly, the first thing that's coming to my mind, I feel like one thing the industry tells you is like about like, of course, being prepared as an artist, because you always got to be prepared. But it's kind of like the industry wants, they always try to tell you to go about it a certain way that would make sense numbers wise to them. But I feel like at the end of the day, as an artist, the last thing you should be focused on is numbers. And the first thing you should be focused on is consistency. Then the second thing you should be focused on is just being unapologetically you. And I feel like the rest of the spots is going to fill itself. So I feel like when they tell you, it's like part of promoting yourself as an artist, you definitely have to do that. But you're not doing it for numbers. You're doing it because you genuinely enjoy what you do, but you want people to enjoy it with you.
That's a fact. You know, I tell people a lot of the times as well, don't worry about the numbers, just keep grinding. Now, although we did have this conversation earlier on about hearing the grind don't stop, just grind, that is part of it. That part is true. Don't burn yourself out, but don't worry about the numbers. Just do the work, and the work will speak for itself.
Exactly.
You know, and some people are fixated on numbers, and that's why they only have the numbers, but they have a horrible soul. You know what I'm saying? Because the numbers mean more when that makes you superficial. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the numbers, it's about the person for real. Because the art will reflect within itself if it's good.
Exactly.
So I agree with you 1,000% there. All right. What's your current inner mantra?
My current inner mantra.
Mm-hmm.
My name. I'm creatively accomplishing remarkable things in action. I tell myself that every day. It's in my name. I do it. I do it in real time. And it's not even on an art basis. It's on a personal basis. It's on a life basis. It's like I'm creatively accomplishing remarkable things in action. Keyword in action. With real life stuff happening, I'm still doing it.
That's what's up. See, I like that. I like that. How'd you come up with that? Break that down. Like, what was you doing that made you come up with breaking down your name that way?
Because for me, it was, I've always been like, I'm so, like, I use these words in a day-to-day, like, conversation, just in different ways. Like, I'll always be like, I'm so creative. Man, I'm just remarkable. Like, the things that I do, it's remarkable that I'm still able to, like, it was, these were the words that I use in my natural nature of conversating. So it was like, but that's really me. That's really what I do. That's really who I am. And
Right.
That's how I've been through these whole 27 years of my life, whether I could pinpoint it or not.
I like that. I like that. That's
Thank
pretty
you.
cool. That's pretty cool. Keep doing what you're doing, Cardi. Your energy is dope. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Studio or stage?
Stage.
Where do you feel the safest?
Stage.
Why?
Because I love, and I've always said this my whole life, I love people. I love meeting people. I like talking to people. I love making people laugh. Like, that's just something that drives me. So it's like being able to perform for people and have them have a piece of art to enjoy that's mine, that I created. It's like there's nothing that could really top that.
Yeah. Okay. Cardi be about it, man. I like this interview. I'm feeling this interview. And listen, this is definitely, it was a pleasure having you on here. We're not done yet. A few more questions, okay?
Let's go.
Then we're gonna get up out of here. What's your biggest fear in this journey?
My biggest fear is not doing everything I could to try to make it shake. Like, for me, it's kind of like, as an artist, it's like there's a lot of things that come into being an artist besides just making music. So it's like, for me, it's like I just want to make sure that I do everything I have to do, and I keep pushing myself to do these things, even if they're different, even if they're new, even if I'm scared down to the bone. It's like I'm gonna still do it because I'm learning something from it. I'm always gonna learn something from anything that I'm doing because that's what I want. Good, bad, or indifferent, I want to learn something more about myself, even if it comes from being an artist.
Right. So you just want to get better as you go along.
Literally, that's all I want to do. I just want to keep getting better and better and better and better.
Okay. What's Cardi's greatest source of peace?
Reading. I love to read.
Okay.
Yes, I love
So what's some books you got going on right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
I'm not reading a book right now. I took a break for like the past
Okay.
month. But
what's
like,
some great reads?
I love like the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, the series.
Okay.
That's one that I just finished recently. I love that one. Besides the movies, it's like reading the books is different. So it's like I like to read like the books that might be about the movies, how the movies originated from. So like 50 Shades of Grey, the book. Or like things like that. I like to read those of how they came to even animate it or put it up into a show. I like to read the behind the scenes of it.
Very eclectic.
Yes.
So, okay. What's a ritual you had before you release a new record?
I usually my rollout. That's one thing I'm very big about, is having a rollout before I drop a record. I like to get the hype going. I like to give people a little bite so they can come back and ask for the plate. So it's like that's one important thing I like to do before I put any music out, is my rollout. And it's like I don't just make it about business, I make it about fun. So I bring my own personal personality to the internet to help promote records.
Okay. How does the energy of the crowd affect your emotional state?
I feel like when the energy feeds me, it just gives me more energy to feed them better. But also at the end of the day, if it's one person or 1,000 people, I'm still always gonna go hard. It's just it would fill me up inside more when people are giving back to me. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna always do the same thing I do for 5,000 people that I'm gonna do for 5.
Yeah. You want to keep that energy the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I like that, So there are times when artists go through that. It might not be a big crowd. It might be, a smaller crowd, but the energy must remain the same and the personality must remain no matter what the situation is. So your answer right there within that is just basically saying, I'm a professional regardless of what the situation is, and I'm gonna make it do what it do regardless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Give me a problem, I'm gonna give you a solution every time.
Yeah. Okay. Is your on-stage persona different from who you are when you're alone?
Yes and no. Like when I'm alone, I guess personally I like to do different things, but my personality is always the same. I'm very bubbly, I'm very outgoing, very silly, I'm very goofy. I'm a person who doesn't like to be serious. If I'm serious, then something's wrong. So it's like I just like to just keep that bubbly energy wherever I am. Even if my friends come over and I'm at the house, they still get that same bubbly, silly Ella, because that's just who I am.
Okay. So have you ever felt like hiding or going silent after being too exposed emotionally?
Not at all. Not at all, because I feel like I said, if I got exposed emotionally, maybe it just needed to be out there. Maybe that's just what happened. Maybe the information needed to be let out.
Okay. Understandable. Yeah, I ain't got nothing to say about that because I understand that. Okay. How do you decompress after a performance, weekend, or tour stop?
For me, the way I decompress the best way I can is I go and just get unready and just put on my PJs, put my bonnet on, put on Ion, watch my little Law and Order, and just relax and just literally just chill and just scroll on, brain rot, scroll through the phone, stuff like that. Just be able to just do nothing.
All right, so I gotta ask you, since you said Law and Order, is you watching the original or you only watching SVU?
I'm watching SVU, I'm watching the original, and then I'm also watching like Criminal Minds, CSI
Okay.
Miami. So yeah, all of
you
that.
like
Chicago
LL
PD,
on the joint. Okay.
Chicago PD, everything.
Okay. Okay. You got a little old head in you on the low, Cardi.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
That's what's up, though. It's not too many artists that have an old soul like that, and that's a good thing because it carries you a long way.
Most definitely.
All right. If you had 2 more questions,
Let's go.
if you could give a piece of advice, to anyone in the industry about the industry, what would that be and why?
It would be pave your own lane. Be a leader. Don't be a follower. You know what I mean? Set your own trends. You feel me? Like, do it how you want to do it. And then let everybody fall in line after that. I feel like don't do it because you want to please other people or you want to, this is what you feel like they would like or this is what you feel like they would want. Don't matter. Then you're not doing it for the right reasons. Do what you want and let everybody fall in line after.
Okay. All right, so we're going to get into this last record, and it's Mind You.
Yeah.
So before we get into Mind You, talk heavy about it, talk your talk, and then introduce it to the folks.
All right. So mind you, I'm that and I'm better. Okay. So this record is Mind You. This is my baby. This is my first love. This is my first baby. So I really hope you guys enjoy this record because it means a lot.
Okay, let's get to it. Mind You, Ella Cartiā, exclusive on the podcast with Tigmatic, playing on all 3 stations: Hollywood Radio, Dollar Radio, and Going In Radio. Let's get it.
Mind you, I'm that bitch and I'm better. Mind you, I'm that bitch and I'm better. Pop your shit. Pop it. Mind you, I'm that bitch and I'm better. Mind you, I'm that bitch and I'm clever. Mind you, I'm with the clique and they let up that fire. They spark up, fuck you and your setup. Mind you, I don't fuck with this shit. Mind you, I'm not friendly one bit. Cartier got the glossy ass lips and the icy ass wrist and a plumpy ass hip. Mickey D's, you can't get it your way. Talking all these while I lay in the bay. Fuck me, boy, oh boy, is you cray. Bum boys, I don't roll that way. I'ma talk my shit, pop my shit, rock your shit, ayy. I'ma talk my shit, pop that ass, get that bitch paid. Put the tool in her bag, now my nigga behave. Got this bitch running track, dodging heat like relay. Got mommy on replay, walk him like a dog, walk him, eat this piece like cheesecake. I want the strips, yeah, I said it straight blue. If it's counting fish bell, we gon' peep the way you move. If it's by the bitch, bitches on my tip, baby, let me see if you can groove. See if you can back, got a dumb mad hoe talk. Ugly hoe gon' shut your trap. No Jordan, but we ballin'. Don't make me pull out the mat. Get these shells on the talking. Tell me what Cartiā like. Catch my drip, get to mopping bed. He said, baby, Ella, why you gotta be so bad? I said, listen close, baby boy, up this house come with a bag of Birkin, one to be exact. I got the perp up in my pack. I got the woods, I like 'em fat. I got the crooks, I like 'em savage. Tell me, honey, can you manage? The panic I raised dramatic. The Cartiā storm just happened. Tell me you good, what's cracking? Mind you, baby, mind you. Hide and seek, I'll find you. Bust and move, rewind too. Pop and lock and grind too. Mind you, baby, driving home me crazy. Driving home me crazy. Cartiā the baby. He said, babe, you made it. I've been on, I made hits. Cartiā the greatest. He said, listen, mind you, baby, who's the fairest in these streets? I said, honey, but listen, close, had to give me 50 feet. Give me more like fuck the feet. Hot and spicy to the beat. Sweet and sour in these streets. Rumbling, roaring, I'm a beast. He said, Cartiā, I miss you. I said, she miss me too. He said, shawty, what's your favorite color? Oh, man, it's green and blue. Oh, yeah, they call me Benji Woo. Bitches wildin' like the zoo. I'ma have to call the crew. I'ma have to get the gat. In first base, but I'm a bat. Ain't no net, but I'm a skull. 24, you know your role. R.I.P. your ballin' so forever great, forever go. Call me up the hand dog and the cuff for brother too. Ask me what I'm living for. To count my tracks, I counting shoes. To lace it up, now it ain't loose. Running down me, loosey goose. Mind you, I'm that bitch and I'm better. Mind you, I'm that bitch and I'm clever. Mind you, I'm with the clique and they let up that fire. They spark up, fuck you and your setup. Mind you, I'm that bitch with the red up. Mind you, I don't fuck with the setup. Mind you, I'm a hungry go-getter. I'm a hungry go-getter. Mind you, I'm that bitch and I'm better. Mind you, I'm that bitch and I'm better. Pop your shit. Pop it. Mind.
I had to let that one part go again. That's a fire record, and it's a fun record.
It is.
That's a skating rink record. They give you that feel like you in the joint.
You feel me?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's one of the ones. I like it. Mind you.
Mind you.
I'm gonna be saying that all day now. Mind you. Yeah. Y'all heard it here, y'all. Listen, Cardi, give your shout outs. I got 2 more questions before we go. So let me ask them first before you give your shout outs and everything.
All right.
What's the next move for Cardi?
Well, actually, currently, I'm on Ella Cartiā's Catch Me Outside tour. So actually, I'm currently on tour right now. And my next stop is going to be July 11th at your mom's house. The actual place is called your mom's house. I ain't trying to be funny. I'm opening up for Dion Tapia. So that's going to be my next stop on tour. So most definitely, if you're nearby, come check me out.
Hey. Okay. Any new projects booming?
I'm actually going to be dropping my first EP at the end of this year.
What's the title?
It's called Elevated, pun intended.
Okay.
One of them records you kick back to and you just chill, vibe, and it's gonna be 11 songs. So it's something quick and easy, quick session. That's the album. That's the EP right there.
Yeah, quick session, 11 joints. She moving and booming.
You feel me? Stay busy.
Hey, all right. What's the one thing you want to accomplish on this tour?
One thing I want to accomplish on this tour is...
I know running up the bag. I know that part.
You feel me? But one thing, honestly, is just being able to explore different areas and meet different audiences. Honestly and truly, I've only done performances out here in like Denver. So it's like being able to go to different cities and stuff and meet different people with different that might not even be into hip hop, but they hear me and they're like, I like that. Appreciate you. So it's like being able to meet different people and just expand my audience and then expand my art.
Yeah, that's fire. That's fire. All right. Last and final question. Let me give you the solo dolo, Cam. Boom. All right. If it's one thing life has taught you, what is that?
Be patient with yourself. I feel like you be patient with yourself. I feel like we are always the people that's going to be hardest on ourselves. But I feel like everybody just needs to learn how to be patient with themselves because in due time it'll happen, in due time it'll come. It's like being hard on yourself is just making it worse for you mentally. Because we already overthink and we're our biggest critics. So it's like just be patient with yourself in this thing called life. Because we're still human at the end of the day.
That's what's up. Anything you want to say to the folks?
It's Miss Cartiā, the biggest Cartiā. All right. And shout out to Tigmatic. Shout out to the podcast. You feel me? We was eating for the past 2 hours. You feel me?
Hey.
Yes.
Y'all ladies say eat, but on the pot, we stir.
Okay. So we was stirring it up today. We was stirring it up.
We was eating and stirring.
Yeah, you eat, you feel me? Okay. But nah, for sure. It was definitely dope. Thank you for having me. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you coming on. This was definitely a fun interview. It was definitely popping. You know what I'm saying? And I want you to stay on the line. Turn your camera off, but stay on the line because I need to talk to you about a few things before we hang up.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
All righty. Folks, I hope y'all enjoyed my guest today. Listen, she was awesome. Great spirit, positive vibes. And that's how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Good music, different sound. You know, I try to find people with a different sound for y'all because in this world of hip hop, there has been this precedent where it's only one type of cadence that you hear, and it's and that's cool. But that's not how music's supposed to be. It's all different types of vibes out here. You got to find all different types of bops, the bop too. You know, and Ella Cartiā got some bops, you know, with a different sound, and she got some flavor with it, you know. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. Listen, once again, this episode was brought to you by Hollywood TV, Hollywood Radio, Dollar Radio, Going In Radio, the podcast with Tigmatic, DDS, TheMontyBrand.com. Speaking of which, go on www.TheMontyBrand.com. Get you your summer leg. You want to get a fit that's fresh? Go on TheMontyBrand.com. Ladies, you looking for something to be sexy in? NorthShadeDemore.com is the place. Heels, sneakers, shoes, jackets, boots, everything. Same for the men. The Monty Brand, it's not just men's clothes, it's men's and women's clothes. We got suits, everything. Whatever you need, we got it. Jewelry included. Listen, once again, it's been another episode. It's been great. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe in this hot weather. Make sure y'all keep y'all water. Stay hydrated. I love y'all. Until the next time, Saturday, I will see y'all then. Once again, it's your boy Tigmatic signing off. Peace.
Everybody go tapping with the pot with Tigmatic.
Y'all tune into the Pop Podcast. And guess what? There's an
Hill,
episode
and you are tuned into the Pot Podcast.
With the Pot Podcast with my boy Tigmatic. You hear me? It's going down.
To follow the Pot Podcast with Tigmatic.
That's that number one.
That's that number one.